What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jeffo coming at you with another video. And I hope everybody's chasing their dreams. I hope everybody's been doing everything they need to do to get to where they need to get to. One thing that I have been noticing with this journey is that it is a lot of work. Getting to where you want to get to, especially when you're doing something of worth, especially when you're doing something that is greater than yourself, you notice that it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. You know what I mean? You have to go through a lot of obstacles to get to where you want to get to. And it's, in the beginning, very, very intimidating. One thing that I have noticed, right, especially when starting something, it feels impossible to get going. The start, when they tell you the start is like the hardest thing, I will agree. The start is one of the hardest things to do. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it be physical, like running, lifting weights, getting into the gym, whether it be, starting, work that, has a due date to it. Everything takes, that beginning part is the most daunting thing, right? And a lot of times it's not even because the work is that much harder. It's because you're in that mindset of staying comfortable, and getting uncomfortable is something that the human body and the human, system is not privy to. Like, that's not something that you want to do. We're creatures of habit, right? So if we were chilling, or we're doing things that are keeping us within our comfort zone, most of our lives, not even just talking about today, but most of our lives, it's very hard for us to even to tell our body to change, right? And with our, self, we have two selves. We have the external, we have the internal, right? Not only do we have that, the internal has two. It has the subconscious, right? And then it has the conscious mind. The conscious mind is something that you do voluntarily, right? So this is the forcing yourself to get into the work. This is the effort that you forcibly have to put in. You know what I mean? This is the waking up when the alarm rings the first time. This is the not putting things off and procrastinating. This is what that is. And when I look at it, right, and through, a lot of effort and a lot of work, because this whole month, this actually year, has been extremely impactful in the knowledge that I've been doing. It's been impactful for, the growth that I have. Now, I've been working on this for, a couple of years. I'd say about minimum 5 years that I've been working on this, and this is on like the 5th year is when I'm actually starting to not only understand but retain the knowledge, right? And being able to repeat and stay constant within it and understand while I'm doing it, right? So what I'm starting to notice is that, especially when you are, trying to do something, you are basically the adult, right? The conscious mind is the adult. And I'm going to try to make this make sense, but you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to get it, right? So the conscious mind is the adult. It's the person that doesn't want to do it, but knows that they have to because of the greater good. You know what I mean? They're not thinking just solely of themselves. I think the subconscious mind is that child, right? That child that's witnessing you put in the work, or witnessing you sit at the desk, even if you're not doing anything, right? Or reading that book, or running that mile, or lifting that weight, or, having confidence to do something that you didn't think that you could do, right? That subconscious mind is watching all the time. And that subconscious mind is the person that's is that thing that's gonna do things without thinking, right? And remember what I told you, we are creatures of habit, right? And to form a habit, I believe it takes like 30 days or something for you to be able to constantly be doing it. And I know that a lot of times that people tell you this, but this is how I've learned to make it make sense, is because the conscious mind needs to teach the subconscious mind how to operate. You know what I mean? So a lot of people think that, oh, just because I've been doing this my whole entire life, I can't unlearn things. You can very much unlearn things. You've read things, or you've been in school where you thought you understood things. You didn't do it for a long time, and as the time goes by, you no longer can remember how to do it, or you have to relearn that said thing. And it's the same thing with bad habits. If you don't do bad habits for a long time, you have to relearn to do the bad habits, right? And it's the same thing where if you want to do good things, like if you want to have good habits, you have to do this consistently for a period of time. I'm not saying 30 days is always the set marker of when you're supposed to be doing the things, but you have to put a time, you have to put in time, right, for you to learn this thing, right? And not only do you have to learn it, you have to be able to repeat it and stay constant for it to become automatic. You know what I mean? I remember a couple of years ago, I was able to wake up early, and this was because I was working in a spot where I had to open. So I had no choice but to wake up early. But when I ended up leaving the job, I still had that early mentality. So I would be doing something completely different, right, at that time. And I still woke up early because it was just ingrained in me. My subconscious mind had already learned that habit, and it was moving. It took like, I remember when I ended up losing that waking up early was because I watched that clock, let it go by. I would wake up by myself, like wake up without the alarm clock. And I remember that day I looked at it, I was like, I don't have to wake up today. And that was the start of the bad habit. That was the start of when, it started becoming harder. But in the beginning, waking up early, especially when I started the job, it was hard. But as I got into the middle, it got easy and easier and easier and easier. Now, there are things that you got to do throughout the day to conserve your energy. You have to operate in a way that it makes you more efficient. That way it's not depleting your energy to wake up. But that's things that you learn through the process. You're like, oh, if I go to sleep at this time, it's easier for me to wake up. And even if you don't do that thing, you understand that when you're doing something that's not in line with what you're supposed to be doing, you will probably have a harder time doing that task. I mean, it's the understanding. Whether you do it or not, you have this understanding of it. And with the conscious mind has to tell the subconscious mind, okay, this is what you need to do, until the conscious mind is able to, the subconscious mind is able to take the training wheels off and able to do it on its own. And it's the same thing. Like when you have kids, I have no kids right now, right? When you are doing things, if you want your child to be great, or you want the child to do things that, are of worth, the child has to watch you do this. I remember when you need to remember when you were a kid, especially if you had, parental figures around you. It doesn't have to be your mom. It has to be your dad. It has to, whatever. When you were looking up to that person, you wanted to imitate that person. And that's basically what your subconscious mind is to your conscious mind. So you have to constantly try to change for you to for your subconscious mind to take that training wheel off, for it to become, a habit.